Hello everyone, it's John, owner of the Simplest Biz. I wanted to cover something today. Every day I get texts from people that are thinking about joining the training for the Simplest Biz about the pallet business. And I get pictures of what they're coming across that they've never noticed before, as far as stacks and stacks and mountains of pallets, pallets on trucks, pallets behind businesses. And they're excited, but of course they don't quite know what to do about it in the right way. But I want you to have some knowledge when you start coming across this stuff, these pallets and crates and drums and dunnage and corrugated boxes and wire spools and all the other stuff that is taking place in this particular business model. I want you to be able to calculate what's going on and see the potential that it might have in your life. Before I do that, I do want to cover one other topic, let you guys know and girls know that I'm in the middle of creating a webinar about the pallet business, about the training, about everything under the sun that you need to know if you're interested in purchasing this training. It's going to be a long webinar. It's going to, not only cover a lot of material, but we're going to do question and answers as well. It's probably going to be 2 hours long. That may be intimidating, but it's my job to make sure you understand. And I want you to be on the lookout for that. And if you could, in the comment section, let me know if that's something that could be valuable to you, okay? So let's get back to it. I'm going to put some pictures up here, and we're going to evaluate what we're talking about so you can translate what you're seeing into actual dollar figures so you know what the potential is with this particular business model. So let me pause for a second and get that set up, okay? So in the first example, we're going to use drums as an example. And in this picture, there's around 22 drums a piece. Now, 55-gallon drums, in the vast majority of cases, you're getting for free. I've paid $3 a piece for them as well, even if you paid $5. But they go for $20 to $25 a piece, okay? So if you're doing 20, let's just, for simple math, 20 times 20 is $400. And if you had to pay $60 to get them, 20 times 3, well, that's a $340 get, okay? Now, that's just on 20 drums. And if they're $25, of course, you would up the ante a little bit on that as well. Now, to move drums, they're empty. It's not like they're full of stuff in here. The forklift drivers, a lot of times, will put them on your truck. And we want to deliver these, of course, the way it's taught, in close proximity, so we're not driving miles and miles to the end location of who the buyer is. In fact, they come to us a lot of times and load their truck. Not even from our location, but I'll get into that later in the training, actually. So just right there, 30, 45 minute, 1 hour even, you're at around a $340 profit, $400 profit if you're getting them for free. All right, so let's go to the next one. I'll pause. So in this next picture, you're seeing a truck that has 6 stacks of 20 pallets on it. So if those pallets are, the ones you see in the pic look like the standard 4840s. And by the way, these are pictures from the private Facebook group that goes along with the training. So 6 stacks times 20 is 120 pallets. And then you multiply that out times $6, right? $7, $8, depending on the grade of the pallet. There's different grades, A, B, C, or 1, 2, 3s. And that being the case, you do the math, 700 plus bucks. Again, the time it takes to execute this is, it can be, once you get going, it can be less than an hour if you're in close proximity. Maybe you have to drive across town. Even if it took you 2 hours, if you multiply it out, it's really good hourly rate, even though we don't think in those terms. We think in units for money, not time for money. But some people are so used to working by the hour, sometimes I'll translate it into an hourly amount for you to grasp the concept. And as you see in the picture as well, there are drums that are being delivered. And a lot of times these drums is going to the same person or same business that was ordering the pallets, and they're putting the drums on top of the pallets. So we got a multiple revenue stream going to the same business in a lot of cases. I think that's probably around 15 drums, again at $20 a piece as well. And you can see the cash money at the bottom. Those are $100 bills apparently. So there's something I want you to look at. When you see a truck going down the road and you see some pallets like this, understand, one, that there's a multitude of businesses, you know, in a city, thousands upon thousands and thousands of tens of thousands of businesses to work with. And for you to be able to translate this into a dollar figure in your mind. And I want you to get used to this if you're thinking about doing it. Because some people procrastinate. I really impressed that there's a lot of money on the table passing you by, and you know, and that could be you, right? In addition, that order is going to take place again next week as well. These are not one-off orders. This account that we're referring to in the picture, they'll order again and again and again and again. You know, it could be for decades. So that's very, very important to understand when it comes to this. I'll pause and get the next picture. So in this next example, we're talking about reels, wire reels, okay? And there's big money in wire reels, and there's specific types of scenarios I have to walk you through in the training to set this up, but it's a great revenue stream. And remember, the reels also go on top of pallets in a lot of cases. Larger they get, they go on top of dunnage. But in the cases you're seeing here, the size pallets you're seeing here, I mean the size reels, we have about 40 reels in the pick. And that size, I'm kind of rounding off because there's some that are a little bigger than others, but let's just simplify it and say it's around $35 a reel. Could be even more depending on your market. The reason why we can get that kind of money for this is because these things brand new can cost a lot of money to produce. So, you know, in some scenarios, these can go as high as $50, dollars per unit. But in this example, I'm going to do $35 per unit. Let's go to the screen here. So it's 40 reels, and that's $1,400. Takes a little longer to move reels. They take up space, but as far as getting maybe a larger rental truck to take care of it and put a bunch two levels high, and deliver them that way. There's also a very large reel on the right side of the pick, and that could go from anywhere from $120 to $160. I'm guessing it's around an 80-inch reel, 75, 80-inch. So that's another big revenue source as well. And they need these on an ongoing basis. And you will start to see this type of stuff yourself if you just keep your eyes open. And I wanted you to have a reference point of what to look for when it comes to this type of thing, and translate like this again into a dollar figure of what the value is of what you're seeing, so you can possibly see yourself doing it as well. Okay? And translate, or what is it going to take to replace my job? When you see figures like this. How do I get out of my 9 to 5? How do I get out of my corporate salary job or my truck driving job where I'm not having to drive many miles? How many of these deals do I got to put together that are recurring where I can rely on this business to take the place of my actual business? Or how can I do this part-time is another way of looking at it as well, and supplement my income where I can have some fun in my life as well, okay, or in your life. So let's go to the next one. So what you're seeing in this picture here is a common occurrence of what you can come across in the pallet world. Businesses generate this type of stuff, and a lot of it, right? So in this example, and I didn't cover, there's other rows I couldn't fit in this picture, but in this picture, which visibly can see, there's 13 stacks. And they're about 20 high. So 13 stacks times 20 equals about 260 pallets, right? And 260 times $6 per pallet, $6 per pallet equals $1,560. So there's actually another row on the other side of these that would double that amount, add another 12 rows to it. So you're talking about a lot, doubling that dollar amount as well. But what you can see visibly in this picture, I wanted you to be able to translate that into a dollar figure for yourself. So when you're out and about, in conclusion with this, I could go on and on with all the corrugated boxes and crates and all that. But I'm giving you the understanding or basis for preparing yourself when you're out and about now and you start seeing this stuff. I want you to have the ability to see money and see security and see freedom and see I get to work for myself and see simplicity, right? Now, you need to know how to secure these pallets. You need to know how to become exclusive for these pallets. You need to know what questions to ask, how to set the deal up, as far as supply goes. And the same goes for the buyer, and that's what the training's for. But invariably, like I said before, I get texts day after day of people that have never noticed this stuff before, but since they've come across this channel or a video I've put out about pallets, this invisible item is starting to appear. And they have what I call pallet eyes, and they're starting to grasp how big this is and how much of it is out there. And I wanted you to be able to do the same, okay? And then be able to go, I wonder how much that is worth, and kind of have a baseline to understand. Now, there's pallets out there that are, $60 a piece, $100 a piece. There's custom built pallets. That's for a different video, okay? But for this video, I did want you to understand what's going on. And I appreciate you spending some time. And, the simplestbiz@gmail.com. If you come across stuff and you're doing your due diligence, shoot us a picture to that email. And we love seeing it. And we love seeing that you're out there actively trying to determine if this is for you. All right. So lastly, the simplestbiz.com, or you could go to the simplestbizforyou.com/info. That's the FOR, the letter U.com/info is a good way of getting additional information. Those links will be below this video. Okay. And just look out for that. Thanks for spending time with me. And I hope to see you soon, either in the training or with an appointment. Take care. John with the Simplest Biz.